Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Just about 5 minutes away from Q101 Fest, the keyword that gets you to Vegas for When We Were Young Festival, and then the Riot Fest. Kind of like the Facebook, Riot Fest. So that's all coming up in 5 minutes with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We poured one out for this. I said 6 months ago. I guess it was 6 weeks ago. You know, time's tough for me to calculate anymore. And we're going to unpour one out, unlike the penny, which we poured one out for earlier. And this would be Hooters, who declared bankruptcy in the last 6 weeks, apparently, in March, I guess that was. And they declared bankruptcy. Very sad. The American sports bar known for wings, beer, and their friendly wait staff is how they're listed on Wikipedia. You don't say anything about the outfits, the orange shorts, but they declared bankruptcy, but someone has swooped in to save them, or at least trying to. Hulk Hogan, of all people, and his Real American Beer are looking to acquire the iconic American restaurant brand Hooters. And listen, as a beer drinker, I like beer. I drank a lot of beer over the last week. I've actually never seen Real American Beer anywhere. I don't think they have Hooters money, even in bankruptcy Hooters money. And Hulk Hogan has a lot of money because he won that Gawker lawsuit years ago. Besides being a wrestler for 50 years, I imagine a lot of wrestlers go through their money, but he had that lawsuit where he won all that money.
I think he went through his money and then happened to win a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Because he also had his TV show. He did more, he had a lot more going on than just wrestling.
But
correct.
All the money he made from that TV show went into trying to make his daughter a pop star, Brooke, and Brooke just never made it big.
It's not easy to write a pop hit song.
I know, because I used to love her TV show, Brooke Knows Best, the spinoff, and I loved it.
Because wait,
it didn't last long.
Because the one was Hogan Knows Best, the first show. Yeah. I don't even remember Brooke Knows Best.
She had a spinoff.
Oh,
I think
boy.
she lived in Miami because he lived in Tampa.
Yes.
Yeah.
You would when I lived in Tampa, you would casually see him walking around. It was so weird. Full gear. Anyways, but she moved to Miami, and I was probably in junior high when that show came out. And in my head, I was like, oh, that's going to be my life in a few years. I'll just live in a penthouse in Miami.
How'd that work
is all
out?
what's going to happen to me.
Yeah.
And so that's how I imagined my life. And I just enjoyed watching all the good things that would eventually happen to me.
Yeah. So next time I go to Florida, can I go to your penthouse down there and hang out there?
I sold it.
Oh, it's too bad. I just can't believe. I got to say this, that when I left the airport, I guess this was Friday coming in, the Hooters in Rosemont, the parking lot was so packed, people were parking on the street nearby. So that Hooters is still crushing, despite popular belief that they're going out of business. That one's killing it.
So my husband got invited to that Hooters literally like a month ago. His friends, because we live out in Elgin, and then some of his friends were downtown, and they're like, oh, we'll meet in the middle for a dinner, right?
And one of his friends said the Hooters in Rosemont?
They're like, oh, we'll just do that, Hooters. And he goes, we're going to have to pick something else, or I'm not going to go, because he knew I am not about to tell my wife, have fun with the kids for tonight. I'm going to Hooters.
I can't remember. You don't follow your husband with Find My Phone, right? You don't do that?
No.
Oh, because Megan does that for me, and I can easily see her going so you're at the Hooters in Rosemont. What's going on there? What's happening there?
My husband just knows better. He's like, I'm not going to play this game. It's going to lead to a long, long couple weeks I don't enjoy.
So if you don't follow him on Find My Phone, he still didn't think he could get away with it?
He comes home drenched in wing sauce.
Where were you? I was in an Italian restaurant. Why do you have orange shorts in your fingernails?
Glitter, a lot of glitter. I'm very good at catching people and stuff. I have a lot of experience, unfortunately.
Yes.
So, he literally wouldn't go. He didn't ask me. He didn't do anything. He goes, we're going to pick a different spot. I'm not playing this game.
I don't know if that's commendable or he needs to. You think so? I know. As a guy, I'm wondering. He needs to know what he can handle there. He's not being tracked as far as he knows. Maybe do you have an Apple tag on him somewhere?
No,
Nothing.
I do not have a find anything on him. I don't. But he's just, years of a relationship. He's being a good boy.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about it.
Now is your chance to qualify to win a trip for two to Las Vegas for the When We Were Young Festival. Message and data rates apply. Please don't text and drive.
The best fest is Fest Fest. Q101.
Here we go. Sunday, October 9th. It is time for you to get to the When We Were Young Festival in Vegas for Panic at the Disco, getting back together for this show. Blink-182, Weezer, Avril Lavigne, The Offspring, and more. Just for qualifying, you get Riot Fest tickets, the best fest on earth, and then you get an incredible trip to one of the best festivals in the world, When We Were Young Festival. All you got to do is text MARK, as in Mark Hoppus of Blink-182, M-A-R-K, to 312-591-8300 for your chance to qualify in Fest Fest. Now, it's 8:01. It's good till 8:59. So if you're in the middle of something, traffic's a little rough, don't rush. It's not a race, and you can only enter once. So text MARK to 312-591-8300 for your chance to qualify for that trip. And, of course, Riot Fest. It is going to be wild. Fest Fest. Do that now. Text MARK to 312-591-8300.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Fallout Boy for Amy in Mundelein. One of the bands playing at the Oceans Calling Festival. We're going to give away those that whole trip in a second here in Fest Fest. So thank you for checking in from Mundelein this morning. We appreciate you, Amy, and maybe you're the winner because you qualified last week for this. We like to draw the winner the following week, like right now. We have a bunch of people on the phones. We start talking to them, and no one knows if they won or not yet. So let's check in with Juan. Juan, ahoy, what's going on this morning? Hey, Juan.
Hello. Hello.
What's up, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. I heard that when Case called you right now, he said, "Is this Juan?" And you said, "Who's asking?"
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah, very valid, especially when you hear Case's voice. You don't know. Hey, like, what's this guy want?
Yeah.
So, Juan, you qualified. You got the Riot Fest tickets for qualifying. Listen, man, you are going. You won. You're going to the Oceans Calling Festival in Ocean City, Maryland, featuring, I just mentioned, Fall Out Boy, Weezer, Noah Kahan, Green Day, and more. You got the trip, and you'll be going to Riot Fest as well.
Awesome.
All right, Juan.
Really cool.
It's good you picked up the phone with the right person. You could have just, pushed Case the voicemail, and you wouldn't have won, bro.
Oh, man. I was actually sleeping. You woke me up.
Good morning. This is going to be our new thing. We're going to start waking our listeners up. We need more ratings, damn it. They're calling up.
I skipped one of the calls, and I answered the second one. I wasn't going to answer.
Yeah, man. Well, you need your sleep after a holiday weekend. We understand. It's rough out there. Well, congrats. Get some more sleep. Get ready for that festival. Case will give you all the information afterward. Thanks for listening to Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We love that. And we just gave out the key word for this week, which will be the Panic at the Disco, Blink, Weezer, Avril Lavigne, Offspring show. That is When We Were Young in Vegas, Sunday, October 19th. Again, I'll give you that key word right now so you can be like Juan next week. That'd be Mark, 312-591-8300. Text the name Mark right now to be the winner. Qualify for it anyway. Coming up here in just about 10 minutes, we have our phones working. Obviously, we talked to Juan. How about that?
Yay.
Yay. So we will take calls for Bad Flower, the guaranteed entry that is this Thursday. Q101's free pop-up at the Cubby Bear. I know we got a lot of stuff going on. That's what Q101 does. That's how we take care of you as better than anybody else in the city with all these things going on. But in just about 6 minutes, we'll get you on the phones for Bad Flower guaranteed entry for that pop-up this Thursday. And Kenzie's Crimes also on the way.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Before we get to music entertainment news, a little bit of that right now as the best one-hit wonders of the 2000s, the 50 best, according to Rolling Stone. That song came in at number one right there, Teenage Dirtbag from Wheatus. And there's a lot to get into on this list. Should we break it down tomorrow a little more?
Can we break it down tomorrow?
Yeah, let's, because I don't have all the songs ready to go. I will tell you, number 7 makes my day. And I would almost say number 7 on this list should be number 1. And I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you tomorrow at this time at 8:52 why I think that and everything about number 7.
Kenzie, can you come in tomorrow with your favorite one-hit wonder of the 2000s?
Oh, boy, can I. I used to watch, remember when MTV did the greatest one-hit wonders and what happened to them. The countdown was unbelievable.
Oh, those shows were so addictive just to fall into on VH1 when they would run them, like the best this, the best that, and you're just in it. You might as well clear out.
You know what I want us to do
hours.
one day? I want us one day to pick out our favorite song that doesn't actually exist, like a band from a movie. Do you know what I'm saying?
You mean like a band in a movie?
So like, no, but like a fake one. You know, like a story in the song, like this smash hit blew up, but it's like it's a movie, and like some of those are so catchy. I know off the top of my head what song I'm addicted to, but it's not a real song or a real band.
Okay, stop clapping.
I'm so excited.
You're excited. We can do that. Music entertainment news now. Here we go. Movies are dead. Ha! I say. Ha! This Memorial Day weekend set a new record with the top 10 films in the marketplace estimated to earn over $325 million over that holiday frame. That's huge. I personally myself rediscovered the movies recently, and all I want to do now is go to a movie theater. Now, I didn't over our little break. I had a little other stuff scheduled, but I'm going to get to the movie theater again because obviously with two of the biggest movies, Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible, and also Final Destination Bloodlines. But the prior record came in 2013, which had an eclectic mix of titles combining to $314 million. So Disney's Lilo and Stitch, which I know Kenzie is stoked to see, but also afraid to see it because of a weird spoiler that might be out there.
There's a little tease happening, and I'm concerned about it.
And what do you think, again, if you can recap what you think the tease is, and no one text in if she's right or wrong, if it's really out there, if you've seen the movie.
I'm concerned. I'm like, and this could be just a blatant rumor. I have not seen it. But obviously, Lilo and Stitch, Nani is taking care of her younger sister. That's the concept of the movie. She's 19 years old, and she has custody of her younger sister, okay? Younger sister, kind of a handful. It's the whole concept of the movie. So, there is a rumor going around that in the remake, the live action, she gives up her sister, like, for adoption to another family. And I'm like...
You don't like that.
The whole concept... Ohana means family. They're better together. Like, and it's also, like it's just twisted because, like, these are, like, Hawaiian natives, and natives have had a really hard time in Hawaii. So it's, like, to make it so Nani leaves Hawaii, the whole concept is, like, wait a damn minute. What'd you do?
So... Don't say on the text line if you've seen it, if that happened or not, because Kenzie wants to see it blind.
But, Kenzie, is the concept of the Lilo and Stitch that's out now, it's a remake of the original, but with people?
It's live action.
Yeah. Well, so, Stitch is still animated. They didn't go cast a real alien, which I found offensive.
Yes, so representation's important. Who asked for that? Why are we... The Lilo and Stitch was fine. I didn't need a new one.
Disney is bankrolling live action of everything.
But
that's why
why?
All the Lion Kings, which was less magical than I anticipated, the live action version of those. Because now they're just lions talking. That's kind of weird.
Well, I know because Harper's favorite, they're doing Moana next year.
With
The Rock. The Rock is doing that. But I'll tell you a case who asked for it, the $125 million of people that spent to go see Lilo and Stitch.
That's a lot of millions.
It's a lot of millions.
Wow. Okay. Hey, man, I did not pique my fancy because I'm of the age where I was a kid when Lilo and Stitch came out. I was in the ripe age to watch that and obsess over it. But I have no interest in the live action one.
Well,
you have to, because the problem is you have, like, all it does is create drama every time they do a live action because the characters coming to life never match what anybody wants. They always tweak the story. I feel like Disney live action has become rage bait, which is so unfortunate. I feel like it's like at first it's like they were doing their best, and then they're like, F it, what if we just made everybody mad every time? And more people see it out of anger than happiness, and it's starting to become very depressing.
A crew member, Emma, checked in and said, I'm still going to see it, but I'm nervous. You made her nervous, Kenzie. A lot of people are, and also a lot of people saying they're going to see it today. Remember, AMC has those deals going on, too, that you see the matinee on certain days, on Wednesdays, I believe it is. So get to the movie theaters because not only that, Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt and Case reviewed the first Mission Impossible the Friday before, so you can find that on the podcast, the first movie. This is supposed to be the final mission. So that combined with also Final Destination Bloodlines, which opened the week before. It's a massive year-over-year improvement of $132 million earned over the 4-day Memorial Weekend from 2024. And it's also a chance for Disney to potentially leap ahead of Warner Brothers in this year's overall market share race.
And I reviewed the first Mission Impossible this most recent Friday, And then I watched the new Mission Impossible this past Friday at the Alamo Drafthouse in Wrigleyville, which, by the way, phenomenal theater. A-plus mozzarella sticks. Couldn't recommend them enough.
Listen, you find a good mozzarella stick, you revisit that place.
Oh, and I will be revisiting. The new Mission Impossible is incredible. I'm a huge fan. I had only seen the first movie that I reviewed for the show and then the most recent one. The great news is, and I didn't know this going into it, this most recent Mission Impossible plays more off of the first movie than any of the 7 in between. So I knew all the characters. It was great. I was so excited that I was able to keep up with this movie.
Now, how often did Tom Cruise in this movie, the current movie, say, they're all dead. They're all dead. They left me. They're dead. He goes, do you understand? And then jumped off a plane or something like that.
Well, that's the thing, is that not only is he jumping off of planes in this movie, which is what everybody's talking about, rightfully so, it's insane, but there's some underwater scenes in this movie, and I'm not spoiling anything by saying that, but there's about a half hour where Tom Cruise is trying to escape a submarine. It's some of the scariest stuff I've ever seen before. I was sitting there in the theater, jaw wide open, going, okay, obviously he died during the filming of this, and just nobody has said anything until now. I couldn't believe some of the action sequences in this movie.
Case of stressing out watching it eating a mozzarella stick. Like, he could never. Do you ever watch a movie and you're like, 40 seconds in, you're like, well, I'd be dead. Like, this is not. I can't believe they're going to do more. I always felt like that in, like, Poseidon when the boat flips.
Oh, yeah.
And they're holding their breath for like 47 minutes at a time. And I'm like, I always was out of air by the time they got to the tunnel that they were going to swim through. I'm like, I'm gone. I can't swim to the other side of this boat.
Nice little cameo of Johnny Drama in that Poseidon remake movie.
Yeah.
as basically Johnny Drama. And he has
Always dramatic.
a sad ending in that. Also, I can just see Case slowly during Mission Impossible taking that plate of mozzarella sticks and slowly pushing it away and asking for a box to take him home. I can't eat these right now. I just can't do it.
Brother, you would be wrong. Not a crumb was left.
Right.
I devoured them.
I will say Tom Cruise polluted my timeline all weekend over this movie. Like the scenes that they showed on some of the reels I see. I'm a reels guy.
Yeah, you love the reels.
But boy, it does look like, I don't know how he survived this movie. So that is part of what made it the biggest Memorial Day weekend. When you think about that for a second, yesterday, I believe, was the 48th anniversary of Star Wars, the original movie, coming out Memorial Day weekend. Now, I get it. They couldn't probably top this Memorial Day weekend the way it works today with the amount of theaters and the way of distribution.
The amount of movies also.
Star Wars 1 obviously became one of the best-selling movies of all time, but it wasn't from the get-go on that Memorial Day weekend.
This weekend, by the way, Memorial Day 2013, that was the previous record. That was Fast and Furious 6, Hangover Part 3, and Star Trek Into Darkness.
And that was the last one that was that big.
Fast and Furious 6, believe it or not, a lot of people saw that.
Oh, I have. I love it. But also the Hangover 3.
Still driving fast. So I got it.
And they're still furious.
Hangover 3, as good as Hangover 1 was. 3, yeah. But everybody went because of 2 was pretty good. 2 was good enough to go see 3 on.
2 was Bangkok, right?
Yes.
What was 3?
I can't even remember.
I think they went back to Vegas.
They couldn't think of one other place to get drunk. They're like, Vegas, Bangkok, we're out of ideas.
I have no memory of seeing 3.
But 3 is when Dr. Ken does the karaoke of Hurt, and he does like Johnny Cash Hurt. I know it's the 9 Inch Nails song, but he does a karaoke version of that. That's my only memory of 3.
Maybe it's better than I remember.
I literally have no memory of number 3.
Maybe someone wiped me and your brains of Hangover 3 somehow.
Sure, that's what happened.
Like the government did that probably.
Well, you guys should go
What were
home
they on their
today.
way to? Like, who was getting married?
Okay, let's find out.
Oh, boy.
Let's stop what we're doing and Google
Stop
the plot
the
of
show.
Hangover 3.
Was somebody else in the group getting married?
I don't remember Hangover 3 at all, and I know I saw it. I just can't remember it.
Okay, The Hangover Part 3. This film follows the Wolf Pack, Phil, Stu, Doug, and Alan, as they try to get Alan the help he needs after facing a personal crisis after the bachelor party in Bangkok. However, things go awry when an incident from the original film comes back to haunt them.
So 3 is Bangkok.
No. They're playing off of 2
Oh,
and 3.
got it,
It's
got
like
it.
Star Wars. You got to watch them all in order for it to make
Oh.
sense.
So then it probably has something to do with the pictures at the end and the credits of the first movie. I can't remember. God, it's terrible.
I can't believe they couldn't think of one other place.
Should we watch Hangover 3 tonight, Kenzie, and review it tomorrow at this time?
That's a big request.
You
I
got
know.
nothing going on.
If I have time for it, we'll do that. We'll do that. So that's your music entertainment news. By the way, want to go see hilarious Carolyn Benowitz at the Den Theater. Beautiful little theater for comedy. Thursday coming up here. Tickets are on sale now for this show, furnished by our great friends at the Den Theater. But if you call 312-591-8300 right now, caller 10, you are going. Good comedy show with Carolyn Benowitz, the Den Theater. 312-591-8300. Call right now to win those tickets.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Stuff going on in and around Chicagoland, including Addison, if that's where you live. Boy, what an insane thing happened over the weekend where a truck exploded. And I'm pretty sure this came across everybody's timeline. And when you see it, like, here's the story from ABC 7. This truck was just driving down the street, a box truck, and a Ring camera caught it exploding. Here's the audio.
The driver of that truck was able to escape serious injury after a leaking propane tank in the back of his truck exploded. Again, no one was seriously hurt, including the driver.
It sounds like a sound effect CD you used to buy at the stores.
Or like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
That sounds fake.
Yeah, here it is again.
The driver.
I mean, it blew up. It disintegrated. And somehow, he's fine. I mean, I guess he got minor injuries. I shouldn't say he's fine. I mean, because it scared the hell out of you and probably have PTSD from that. And it damaged 4 houses in Addison. It was a propane tank in back of the box truck, and somehow just the bump of the road just caused it to explode, which now terrifies me to get a tank for my gas grill, the Weber, you know.
Well, with all those bumps in the road.
There's a lot of bumps in the road.
You could go at any point.
Am I supposed to hold it while I'm driving the tank and like make sure it doesn't hit anything? Like, what the hell?
You're going to want to straddle
seems like
that.
It's like, wouldn't like the government be responsible for that because they fix the roads?
So I can sue the government if my propane tank blows up my Nissan Rogue.
And we know they got $56 extra million floating around now, because of the whole penny thing. So get after it.
That's how my lawyer's going to approach the government. You know, you got that $56 million.
Yes, hand it over.
Yeah, this happened. The box truck, it was leaking before it exploded on Wooddale Road, just north of Lake Street. But I don't know how the guy knew it was in a box truck. It was running to a Penske box truck. And no one got hurt, but it damaged 4 homes. The explosion is insane how the truck just disintegrates. And, man, pretty terrifying.
You can't overemphasize that enough. If you watch the Ring camera video, 1 second there's a truck, the next second there's not.
Yeah.
I've never really seen anything like that before.
It's pretty wild. And you know they're replaying the hell out of it because no one got hurt or at least seriously injured. Because if someone died, they can't keep showing that truck explode. You know?
I guess. Is there a rule against that?
Yeah, I think it's
Usually they don't show deaths on the news. They used to.
Yeah,
They
everybody's
used
so
to be
sensitive nowadays.
Boy, did they used to get up in there with a picture and
Yeah.
put it on every front of the newspaper. Not good.
Before woke, now you can't even show dead people on the news.
tragic.
It's
Tragic.
a
We can't
good way
show
for
that
their
anymore.
family to find out with the most gruesome picture available.
Well, what they do now is they'll say the next footage might be disturbing to somebody, so please, if you're easily upset. And what that does is...
Go to our stories. That's usually what it says.
Well, what that does to me is I can't wait to watch this now.
Well, they get you because they're basically calling you a chicken if you turn away.
They're calling you a chicken. They're also enticing me like the old warning labels on CDs. The parental warning label said, this CD has the F word in it. Okay, well, I'm going to buy 15 of them now.
Well, like, you know when you follow news outlets on social media, so you have to swipe? Like, if you want to see this, it's on the third slide, buried. And that came up when the Diddy video came out of beating Cassie.
Oh, God, that video's horrible.
And it was like, domestic violence. And it was like 4 slides deep. And every time I swiped and it still wasn't available, I'm like, what did he do to this bitch? Like, this is going to be the worst video. And boy, was it.
Boy, did it live up to the hype, that video.
Boy, did it live up to the 4 blurred slides. I couldn't believe it.
Why is there a court case with that? That video shows
We need due process.
Listen, I'm for due process. I'm for evidence.
I'm like, guilty. I said, what? Wrap it up.
I was going to say, Rodney King, those guys got off.
They did.
And that video shows them beating him for an hour and a half.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
God,
So
you'd think with the video,
It's right there.
when you watch that
wow, it's not really a personal, it's kind of, there it is.
when you watch that documentary about that, that's what they actually say. They go, well, I think it was actually Ice Cube in the video being interviewed about it. Goes like, hey, man, now we got it on video.
Yeah.
So this is going to be easy. Turns out it wasn't easy.
It wasn't. By the way, your description of the parental advisory stickers on CDs and how it entices, that's the plot of a King of the Hill episode where Hank takes Bobby to a record store and he sees the sticker and Bobby's like, that's a part of the artwork. It entices. What can I say? You're living the life of Bobby Hill.
Well, I'm trying to find that real quick. Parental.
I don't know if you're going to find it, but you can do it real
That
quick.
seems like such a hard pull. My favorite King of the Hill quote is when he goes, "An F in English, Bobby? You speak English."
So I put in King of the Hill parental warning, and the first episode comes up. King of the Hill, Hank becomes a liberal parent. I don't know. Is that it or no?
No, that's not it.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think you should just raw dog
I
that.
don't know what red pill YouTube you're on. I don't really want to hear that right now.
You know what?
It's a liberal.
We'll look forward and play it tomorrow at this time at 9:30. Finally, I warned you one of your bills is going up by the end of the week, and all of us have it. I'm pretty sure all of us have it. ComEd. They say, and I don't like these words, ComEd electricity supply prices will rise sharply on June 1st, adding $10.60 per month to customer bills. They always try to fluff
For
it.
what? They didn't put something with it?
That's it. No, it's just going up.
Usually they go due to, and they're just like F. It's like a middle finger on the notice.
Well, that's what everybody does today. Just go deal with it. But there is something. They're saying it's for infrastructure and blah,
They're
blah,
like,
blah.
what are you gonna do? Build your own fire and cook your dinner? Go F yourself.
That's also part of the statement. That's
Yeah.
also part of the press release.
They have a
What are you
parental
gonna do?
advisory sticker on it.
What are you going to do? Cook your own dinner? F yourself. Signed, ComEd.
It's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, I go find my energy elsewhere.
I'll tell you what, one time
Sucks.
I signed up, in how in the airport they used to hit you up and say, if you change the electricity provider, we'll give you a free flight. You ever seen those? And I did that. I
That feels pre 9/11. I don't think they're allowed to be there anymore.
God, I think it was after 9/11, but it was. I haven't seen one in a long time.
And maybe a pre-shoe bomber.
Wait, they said if you use our electricity, we'll pay for your flight. What did they say?
Yeah, that's exactly what they said. You can get different electricity providers. You still ComEd still distributes it, but you have a
But
different.
some areas are blocked. Like, you can't always get a different provider. That's what's annoying.
So I went for the deal. I said you get 2 free flights, and they changed providers. Everything was going swimmingly in the beginning of it, and then winter hit, and my electric bill 1 month was $1,100. And I called ComEd, and I said, hey, what's the deal with this? And he goes, you changed over to those other guys, right? I go, yeah. And he goes, you got F. That's what happens. They try to lie and say they can get it cheaper, and they do for a while. But then when it comes to a high demand time, forget it. It's over, and you lose I basically evened out with the flights that I got for free. Probably I lost money on that
I know
deal.
when they're setting people up, they're like, don't worry, these will pay for themselves.
Yeah. Oh, they sold me probably I was trying to be a Mormon out west when they hit you up out there and try to convert.
Oh, God.
They always have those beautiful women trying to convert you to Mormonism when you go out west.
What?
They do. If you ever
Why do you get offered so many things when you're walking by?
He's such an easy target.
they see me coming, they go, this guy, we
They're
got
licking
him.
their lips.
Your goofy smile. Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Ladies.
Hello, ladies. All right, there's some of your local stuff. Sorry, the ComEd bill's going up. It sucks. But you can text in your takeaway right now, 312-591-8300, something that's memorable to you about today's show. Text right now your takeaway with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, Lincoln Park. That show coming up in August, which has now been renamed Q101. August is going to be insane with the amount of shows, and we're getting there. I mean, it's June at the end of the week. We've talked about all the stuff that's going up in August, starting with Lollapalooza, working its way all the way to the end of 5 shows at Soldier Field. We got Oasis, My Chemical Romance, Lumineers, and 2 system shows.
And speaking of Lollapalooza, I believe at 10, we're getting Lollapalooza after shows today based on their social media. I don't know what time, but I think we're getting those after shows today.
Oh, Lauren's coming in. I'm sure she'll mention it. Stay tuned to Lauren and our social media right around that time to get all that. Takeaways from you from today's show, something that was memorable to you by the listeners. Case, what do you got?
Takeaway from John in South Carolina, listening on the Q101 app. Abraham Lincoln died, quote, in a weird way. I'll say, I couldn't agree more.
Oh, boy.
No lies detected.
I don't know if they said that back then or, what his final words were.
They were
but
going,
yeah.
hey, man, that was weird when the president got shot.
I mean, you just went to see a movie.
Imagine being the person performing and you're like, well, there goes the night. It was the best performance of my life.
So imagine that, Kenzie. And then also imagine the guy that ends up shooting Lincoln is Brad Pitt. Because that's
Wait, what?
So the guy that shot Lincoln was as popular as actor as like Brad Pitt is today. It wasn't Brad Pitt, but imagine if it was Brad Pitt.
I go, why are you casting a movie or something? Now imagine, wouldn't you buy a ticket to that?
This is his Medellin from Entourage.
I know. I feel like he was pitching me on a screenplay. No, imagine. What would you think if he did it? Huh?
Is this something you'd be interested in?
What if Adam Driver was Abraham Lincoln?
There you go. Imagine all that. Was that something you might be interested in?
Okay.
That's what it would have been like.
I see.
Anyway, what do you got, Kenzie?
Takeaway from Jim is that Brian used to look like a line of cocaine when he was topless in his jeans.
I wish I could do that look again right now, but I can't. I'm too heavy. But when I was, a thin person with a guy with jeans on and his shirt off, that's cool.
You went from line of cocaine to like snow cone before they put the flavoring on.
That's right. Finally, Abby checked in from 847. Takeaway. Kenzie's husband is a good boy.
He's a good boy.
Yes, he is. He's a good boy. All right, Case, what do you got in the podcast?
It's a loaded day. Happy to be back. Happy to return fresh podcast episodes for you, including the fact that Brian is looking for someone to rub lotion on him all summer long. You can listen why and the fact that makes your brain go boom. Also, America will never be the same after we poured one out for an institution this morning. Perhaps the biggest impact we've ever had, and they pour one out. Absolutely devastating. And it's Tuesday. A new Kenzie's Crimes lives on the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
Speaking of which, that was one late takeaway coming in. Watch out for falling pots. To understand that, you do have to listen to Kenzie's Crimes on the podcast, and the whole show, remember, is on there. And you do a best of now, too, don't you? Put like a little highlights of the day.
I got not only a podcast for every hour, because we're on 6 to 10. It's a whole big show. You might be in the car from 9:30 to 10. You're missing the first 3.5 hours. So I not only have the hourly podcast, but a best of that wraps up the entire show in a half hour. You can listen to that. You can send that to a friend. Hey, I listened to this funny thing. You should listen to this too. The world goes around that way. It's awesome.
Forget about it.
I have never clicked on, I'm part of the show all day, so I've never clicked on it. Yeah. Brian, have you? Because don't you think it's probably just clips of Case? Because he's putting it together.
No.
You know
He's
what?
like, I'm just going to cut all my sound bites for the day.
You know what? That sounds about right. I'm going to check that out later.
We should go check it out, actually, now that he's doing this.
It's Brian and Kenzie. I'm happy to be here.
Bull crap.
This is ridiculous.
We don't even talk the entire time.
I'm going to listen to a podcast today. That's
So
what
these
I'm
are
gonna
what
do.
I really thought shined today. It was my favorite moment.
Yep. You've raised some suspicion, Kenzie.
I'll have to listen.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.